it's just Martine, and welcome to the start of a weekend reading vlog. It's the second weekend of Wonderthon. Things have been chaos. So my main goal for this weekend is to have the most fun reading weekend possible. That means reading, yes, but also fun. Sometimes that fun will be reading. Sometimes that fun will be other things. It's going to be great. If you don't know, Wonderthon is a incredible readathon created and hosted by Lizzie over at Lizzie's Literary Life. I'm one of the captains for this round. Giza strong. I'm Team Giza, in case you didn't know. Go Camels! You should really check out my last Wonderthon vlog to see what's all happening. We have a points update tonight that I'm not particularly looking forward to, but that will be okay. We'll just have to see what the weekend brings us. Lots of fun, that's for sure. So let's get going. I have to run to Publix. Well, I guess I don't have to, but I'm going to run to Publix to stock up on some of my basic foods that I eat. They're not good for you. They're just easy and they're yummy. So we're gonna go get them because I'm almost out of them. And if you were wondering what I've had for breakfast today, I'll eat real breakfast when I get back, but I just wanted a little blood sugar boost before I head out. I'm eating Sour Patch Kids peach flavored, which I tried for the first time this week, and they're pretty good. Not a fan of the not so sour part, but they're pretty yummy. So let's go to the grocery store. I meant to show you me getting things and then I just straight up didn't because I was vibing, but I only intended to get one bag of pizza rolls and like the smaller one, and then 2 bags of the chimichangas that I eat, but the big bag of pizza rolls was BOGO. So I got more pizza rolls and less chimichangas. I also got bread, pasta sauce, not really interesting, but I did that and that feels good. That was my morning walk for today, and now I need to work on importing footage because I haven't for several days. We have a lot here. Editing Sunday's video. So let's get to it.
My friend nostalgia, I found you when I heard the sweet sound of...
Wayo, happy Saturday. Let's talk about some books. In spite of how much time it took me to actually read the last 13 minutes of this book, I mean, I sat on the last 13 minutes for hours, I did finish The Case of the Bizarre Bouquets, the third Enola Holmes book. I'm pretty sure I gave this 3.5 stars. In this series, we're following the little sister of Sherlock Holmes, and she's a fun time. I approve. This is the last book in this series that I have access to. There are lots more, but this is all I have, so I guess this is it for now. And that one I used for military because it's set in a big city, which is one of the prompts. It's set in London. Yay. And then I finished listening to the audiobook Modern Romance by Aziz Ansari, which is actually a very thoughtfully done book about modern romance. When you approach a nonfiction book by a comedian, this is not the book you expect. It was hilarious, but also it involved a very extensive sociological study about dating and romance, which was fascinating to me. So he definitely didn't do that alone. He had lots of people help him, but I just thought it was interesting that that was the kind of endeavor that he'd want to go on and then write this book about, which I really appreciated, and I thought it was really well done. So I gave this 4 stars. I mean, it's probably a little outdated now because it was written a couple years ago and things have changed so fast with technology, and also the pandemic has definitely changed the way that people interact, particularly in regards to like dating and romance nowadays. So I'm sure there could be an interesting new edition in the future that covers those things, but this covered a lot of things, including dating in different cultures, the different aspects of dating, different generations and how they've approached dating. So it was just fascinating and also funny. And he read the audiobook, and that one I believe I used for science points, because like, why not? Yep, for a new to you author, because even though I'm familiar with his work, obviously I haven't read a book by him because I think this might be the only one, and then odd page number because it ends on an odd page number. And then I sat down to start Ain't Burned All the Bright by Jason Reynolds, and I forget the other author, and I didn't expect to finish it in a single sprint in reading sprints, but that's what happened because this is a book of art and Jason Reynolds contributed the words to it, but there are very few words per page. It's really more about the art experience. The art was so fun to look at and so interesting. I really liked it, and the book is just about, you know, the experience of existing in the world today, particularly with all the things happening on the news and in the middle of the pandemic and all of those things. I'm giving it 4 stars. It was a really interesting time, and I also used it for science points for an author you've read before, because I've read Jason Reynolds books before, and then an even page number because it ended on an even page number. Let's check how my team is doing this morning. We got an actual points update last night. We're not as far ahead of Babylon as I would maybe like, but Rhodes keeps attacking Ephesus, and if they do that and if we keep not being attacked, we could catch up with Ephesus. My only concern about that is that then that makes us a huge target for Ephesus again, and yeah. But last night in the chat they were all saying like, oh, now we know how Giza felt the other day when they attacked us 5 times, and I was like, you don't. Here we are, I'm looking at the spreadsheet. We're currently the lowest team in wonder points. That's okay. We actually sleep at night, and I'm not convinced that the other teams do. My team has read 272 books so far, which is great. And we're sitting at just over 70 military points and just under 60 scientific. We've taken almost 70 points of damage though, so we're just sitting at a total of 64.72 points in general, which now that I'm curious, I'm gonna pull up the points update from last night. Yeah, Ephesus last night was sitting at 67.48 points, and then they got attacked after that, so mayhaps we will catch up to them today. It all kind of depends, but Rhodes is way ahead of that. They're at 82 points. Lizzie was saying that the other day the top 3 teams were within like 2 points of each other, but then Ephesus like smacked the crap out of us, so obviously we went down. That's the update. Good morning. It's Sunday, the last day of this vlog, and I didn't update you much yesterday, so I have books to talk to you about. That's the theme of my Wonderthon vlogs. I just hold a bunch of them and then we chat through all of them. 4 books to talk to you about. The first I actually have right here with me. It's Josephine and the Sea. And this is a middle grade book about this girl. Her mom has passed away and her dad has started dating again, and she hates that. But all of a sudden, the new woman that her dad starts dating is like really bizarre, like in a mystical sense. And so she's like, what's up with this person? And she's trying to find out and save her dad from this relationship that she hates but he can't see through. She's also at the same time trying to earn a spot on her school's cricket team, even though they don't let girls play on the team, because she knows that she's better than all the boys on the team anyway. So I really liked our main character, and it was really fun dealing with the folklore around this particular book. This particularly focuses on Caribbean folklore, which was really fun and interesting to read about. I'm giving it a 3.5. I'm not the target audience for this, because even if I was within the age range of this, really action-y things are not really my style. So a lot of the action that happened in like the second half of this book was just too much for me. But compared to other action-y books, this held my attention really well, and I understood what happened in the action sequences, which is rare for me. So I really enjoyed that. I think lots of kids are going to really love this, so I think this is an excellent read to add to like a classroom library or to recommend to the kids in your life, because it's a really fun time and I liked it. And I'm pretty sure I used all of these for science points, because I'm just going rogue on my science points now. Which update? So we hit 2,500 wonder points, and Lizzie threw in a little surprise. Once you hit that threshold, you get a bonus wonder that you can borrow for the rest of the readathon. My team landed on military, which is not very helpful for us because we've declared 1 battle that we lost and have since then said no to battles, and also have tried really hard not to get bingos at all so that we don't have to declare battles or even submit the form that says we don't want to battle. So for example, whereas Ephesus, I know, has declared 40 battles at this point and has gotten 40 bingos, we have only gotten 6 bingos. So we like to keep our numbers of bingos low, so I'm not sure the military advantage will do anything for us. And I'm really scared because we're all keeping our new advantages a secret, and I don't want any of the other teams to get my team's advantage because I think it's the best and I really like it. And to my knowledge right now, we're still in 3rd place, and I think we need that advantage more than, say, Rhodes does, especially because, so Rhodes is winning by a bit now over Ephesus, and that's good. I want them to win. compared to Ephesus. Of course, rather that my team win, but if one of the other teams is going to win, I just don't want it to be Ephesus because they've been so attacky. I'm over it. I want the other teams to win. So Rhodes is winning right now. They've got the smallest population. They only have 17 people on their team. And since everything is averaged, the science would be really, really powerful for them because for every one book they submitted under science, they would be able to get 1.4 overall points. My team gets 0.92, which is still a killer compared to the other point values that we can get. But yeah, that would be so much in a smaller population. So I'm hoping they didn't get that, but not feeling too positive about it. And since Bailey really won't tell me what her team got, I'm worried that they got science. We'll see what happens. Anyway, that was so off topic. We're talking about books right now. Okay, the next book I read was an audiobook. It was Cool for the Summer, which is a book about this girl who spends her summer in this place and falls for this girl, and she's never thought before that she was anything but straight. Meanwhile, then she goes back to school and there's this boy she's been fawning over for years and years and years. Like, everybody knows that she likes him and he is suddenly interested in her, but then her girl acquaintance from the summer moves to her hometown. So then things get a little crazy. I gave this 4 stars. It was a really fun time and like a good discussion on identity and how hard it can be in certain situations to find labels that feel right for you and to discover yourself and all those things. And again, I used that for science. Then I listened to the audiobook The Unteachables, which is this really cute book about basically this special ed class that the school has just shoved to the side and labeled these kids as unteachable. They shove this teacher in that class for the year. It's his last year before retirement and they're trying to get him to quit so that they don't have to pay for his retirement. And at first, like, the relationship in the class is rocky with the new teacher, but then over time it becomes like a really sweet and wholesome book and I just loved it so much. So that was a really great time. A really good reminder that just because you're different doesn't mean you're unlovable or unteachable or anything like that. I loved the characters in this book. They have my heart. So that was a really fun time. And then finally, I finished listening to this morning Counterfeit, which is this book about this woman who gets into business with her college roommate in counterfeit handbags. Yeah, it was fun. I like con-like stories, and so this kind of felt like that. I've been mainly listening to it while falling asleep for the past several nights, but then this morning I listened to the second half of it. 4 stars. I had a fun time with it. That's the update. We just took 1 watermelon's worth of damage. At least it's 1 watermelon and not 5 watermelons within an hour. I mean, it wasn't the other day either. It was 5 grapefruits worth of losses in an hour, but still, owie. My goal at this point is to be in 3rd place at least. I don't want to be in last place. So that's what I'm focusing on. And that feels a lot more in my control than trying to beat Ephesus at their own game. I'm just sad that I have to switch to reading books and putting them in military prompts instead of for science points, because sad. Hello, it's me again. I read more books. Not this afternoon. This afternoon I've been like not in a reading groove, but this morning I did. Did I finish 2 books? I think that's the number I finished. I finished another graphic novel, The Girl from the Sea, and I gave this 4 stars. I really loved the art style in this, like really loved it, and the story was cute and interesting. So all around, good time. It's about this girl, and one day she's over by the cliffs in her area and she falls, and so she thinks she's having a dream because she hit her head and she sees this really pretty girl and they kiss. But then the next day she wakes up and the girl like appears and she's like, hello, I am a Selkie, but you are my true love. You gave me a kiss, so now I have legs. And things go from there. What else? What else did I read? I feel like I definitely finished something else. No, that was it. I was wrong. I have finished 2 books today, but I already told you about one of them. So, because that was Counterfeit. Oops, my mistake. Hello, it's almost 6 p.m. and I haven't even submitted this play, but I just read it. It's After by Chad Beckham, which is about this guy, Monty, who was in prison for 17 years for something he did not do. and has recently been exonerated and is reintegrating into the world. It was interesting. I'm giving it 4 stars. It's really hard to put into words how I'm feeling about this because part of me is like, it wasn't everything I wanted it to be, and yet on the other hand, I feel really heavy inside after it, which is what I was expecting and looking for. It's a really small cast of quirky characters, and I'd be really interested to see what it looks like on stage. There's nothing phenomenally technical about it, but I just think it would be really interesting to see the emotions put into the lines, because sometimes in stage directions you get a few comments about what the emotion should be like, but mostly you're just looking at words and actions on a page, you know, crosses the stage, or like huge monologues of text or lines back and forth. And that's one thing that's really hard about reading plays. So I think I enjoyed it more than I could because I made myself read aloud for certain characters and imagine if I was in their situation how I would feel, and tried to think about those emotions. But I would be really interested to see other people interpret this work. Not sure where I'm going to put this yet, because since the attack earlier today, we agreed to put like all our books towards military, but I'm not sure that this fits military. Maybe I can count it as like involves a journey, because it does technically. Not like a physical journey, but a mental journey. I think that counts. If not, then I can count it includes a romance, because it kind of does. This was an interesting and quick read. And that is the end of the weekend. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and comment down below. What do you do for fun on the weekend aside from reading? And subscribe for more reading, writing, and college lifestyle content. And until next time, bye humans, bye!